And I know white and black or black, not usually actually, but white and yellow tend to be where people have the most trouble when it comes to painting. Yellow, I feel like, is a fairly easy thing to remedy. Sure. So, is you paint that yellow? Okay, so actually, this is a good example. Kara's gonna paint this. Yeah, a lot of black. Yeah, no, you're not, Lindsay. You're right on the money on that. She's gonna paint this box yellow. So this is what I'd always recommend: is you paint it that scrag brown that we were talking like last week. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, there you go. Scrag brown, as you can clearly see from the label. Clearly, I want to say it's scrag brown, but it's just like kind of dark, or not dark, but like I guess like a red brown, just like a ochre type red brown is something that you'll get a lot of use out of. I guess you could technically also use tau light ochre. It's pretty similar. That one might be a little brighter. You might get a brighter yellow. There you go, scrag brown where you can see the label. Yeah, there you go, scrag brown. Pics of which whip, though, Dano? All of them? Yeah, if you're watching this, I can definitely do that. So if you want to see pictures of whips and stuff when I put them up, I'll put them in the Discord. Dan, if you want to be nice enough, you could put a Oh, you're talking about your fire belly. I'll take a look in a sec.
What's a fire belly?
Fire bellies are ogres in the old world who eat like volcano magma, and they're essentially in tune with Akshi, which is the lore of fire. I think it's pronounced Akshi. I know it's like a play on words of ashy, but I think it's pronounced Akshi. Thank you, Streamlabs. What do you paint? Yeah, so Lindsay, what are you painting now? You are painting some Shattered Point stuff currently, okay, and then you're gonna go to Old Lord. Okay, you already answered that. You don't have to answer again. Black, gray, and white, brown. Yeah, no kidding. To my own disgrace, I guess I did not have a chance to enter the painting contest at Iron World. I forgot to bring a model.
Oops.
All right, checking.
You have to change your name in Longshanks now.
Oh, this is white. Crud. All right, let's see if I can wash that off.
Oopsie.
We'll just kind of scuff that up. That's fine.
You mean you don't just like do everything perfect all the time? When you're painting all this awesome stuff, Dr. D?
Well, it helps if I know what I'm painting. Like, let's just say, like, I've watched Star Wars. It's not like a religious experience for me. Just put it that way.
That's fair.
So that's just gonna be more white.
Can't be everything to everybody all the time.
It's tough. That is tough.
Well, you know how I like to go like through IPs.
White.
So I went through Star Wars in high school.
Did you just throw an egg at me? Sir?
Are you getting heckled?
Did you just throw an egg at me? Should hit beaker. Okay, anyway, that should be enough time for this to go white. So we're going to come in here again, do another coat. And the reason that we have to do 2 coats is more than likely because I did a black undercoat. You can't really see it on the camera, but the coverage on it needs a little bit of work. So this might take a couple rounds of white blue. And a good alternative color you can always use is gray blue, pale gray blue by Vallejo. This is the color I used before white blue came out. It's almost the same. This is a little brighter. Again, as you can see from the straight reflectiveness coming from that bottle. I'll put it in the old photo to you. To my own shame, I have not. Yeah, Old World fell off the map for me, unfortunately. I actually got a bunch of tiles that I was gonna do a map-based thing for Old World, and with Warcrow coming, and with just everything in life going on, with this whole like getting another job thing, I've been busy, and I have not had much time to give to Old World.
Maybe you'll have a little more time for that.
Yeah, who knows? I just need to become good enough at Infinity where I become famous, and everybody listens to Arachne, and everybody remembers my name, and everybody's like, wow. Wow. I did play Infinity at Ironworld. I got Middleist.
Woo!
So I got 5th out of 11. And the game I lost was... there was definitely some dice shenanigans going on at the beginning, and then I definitely tilted. Because I was not happy. But then the other 2 games I took pretty handedly. The game I lost was definitely a case of I was playing a very good player combined with the fact that my dice were just not wanting to cooperate at all.
Oh, I'm glad you clarified that because I thought you were saying that the person you were playing was like cheating somehow with their dice.
No, definitely not. And of course I got tons of compliments on the paint jobs of the models, which is one of the reasons why I feel like I can actually stream, and you guys might learn something.
Well, their paint will probably turn out better than mine if they keep watching.
Well, yours might get better too if you watch.
I can't be bothered with watching you. I gotta paint.
Wow.
I listen though. And I live heckle you.
It's true.
And I tell you to hydrate when we're not streaming.
That's also very true. Thanks, Dan. Dan says you need a microphone.
We'll see about that. Tim said I was very, very loud.
Yeah, I kept getting told that you guys can hear her.
Tim's like, I hear everything she's doing. You could hear me doing dishes. It was like a whole thing. But are you using your headphone?
Yeah, it's the headphone mic.
So I wonder if it's
It
that
wasn't.
microphone.
No, it wasn't.
Because Nina couldn't hear me either.
Well, she could hear you making noise. She couldn't understand your articulations. We'll work on it, Dan. It's another one of those things where we're trying to figure out what the best dynamic here is.
Also trying to make sure that I can like control my mouth.
Yeah, that's true. You don't want to get run out of town. All right, so again, kind of hard to say, but coverage a lot better on that white. So we're gonna just let that have a chance to dry. Have Tim send Kara his mic. He doesn't need it. You're right. I'm taking over.
We have lots of microphones.
Yeah, we got plenty. Don't worry.
The microphone is not the issue.
That's not a
It's
problem.
whether or not we actually want me to be that stupid.
All right, so we're gonna go back to this R2D2. We're gonna start working on the silver some more. So again, looking at this silver here. Now we're gonna go a little more on the pure side. So when you're painting a robot, you have to figure out how shiny you want it to be. Most of the art that I've seen of C-3PO is him being a little more on the yeah, he didn't really stream, did he? All week. I think that's because of I have no idea why actually. So again, you want to look towards the light source. I'm always like upper right. Yeah, up and to the right. So when it comes to metallics, you can afford to be high contrast because of the way metallics work. So when you're painting metallics, ironically enough, you want to follow a lot of the same principles as if you were painting non-metal metallic, which just means that you have to think of it in regards to where the highlights are going to go in a very similar kind of fashion, and you'll notice that your metallics will get a lot better. My opinion is that you don't really need to wash. I'm not much of a washer myself. I don't regularly bathe. Washing is for city folk. It's for yellow bellies. Sorry, I used that curse word. I'm sorry. And this might take a couple coats because again, this kind of work is delicate. And you don't want to like just cake paint on this poor guy.
I cake paint on all the time. So why is that a problem? How could I be better if I quit caking paint on my models?
I guess that's just a question you're gonna have to answer yourself.
You so you could tell the audience.
I don't know, audience. You answer the question. I don't know. I don't know how to make her happy. Please help me. Send help.
Or nudes.
Don't do that. Please. Unless you're Tizzy. And then maybe we can talk. He doesn't stream. That's true. He did not stream for like an entire week, did he? He streamed Power Phase.
Yeah, we watched that.
Right? It was Power Phase?
Yeah, Dan, weren't you on that?
Yeah, Dan was on. Well, that Dan didn't say that. New episode of Has Been Hotel. So if anybody's on that craze.
Yeah, Emma said we should watch that before we stream.
No. I don't know if I want to watch it though. Like, should we wait for more episodes to come out?
We watch that other one.
Like, I don't want to rush. Because then I'm going to be like, I want...
This is how much we like it.
And then I want more.
Debating.
I was like, well, you know what? Let's be honest here.
Do we watch it today, or should we save it for a rainy day?
Should we watch... If we watch this episode, we should probably just watch the whole series again. Just to make sure we get the... Just kind of catch up, you know. I don't want to forget anything.
Bubby,
Alright.
really need you to not be here.
Lindsay is saying that it was good. I heard it was...
More shocked if Lindsay was saying it was bad. No, it's bad. You can wait until later.
I hear it was a very heavy Stolas episode, which is cool because Stolas is one of the best characters.
Indeed.
Did they has Vivi? That's her name, right? Vivi. Okay.
I was trying to think of it. I don't know.
I think Vivi's the creator. Has she said when the next episode's coming? As far as like contrast goes, again, these are kind of hard to see, but you can see a little bit there where on that part of the dome it's a little bit more on the silver side. It's a little darker over here. We're going to also refine this a lot, so I wouldn't panic if it doesn't look like there's a lot going on. It's with the silver, it kind of just works that way. In a month, okay. Because if I remember right, before the Hell of a Boss episodes were coming out monthly. June 14th. Okay, sweet. Thank you.
I do remember seeing that schedule. There was like one a month until December.
And then more?
There was not more announced. That doesn't mean there won't be.
Because she slowed down production of episodes because of because of Has Been. Because I think that's why they stopped making so many episodes, right? Because they were doing stuff for Has Been Hotel instead.
I really haven't done any research into so I don't know.
Just refining the white a little bit here, making sure we got good even coverage. Because if you're working with white especially, anytime you're working with a light color, you want to make sure that the color underneath it is more, not heavy, more, strong. You want to make sure it's strong. Because whatever color you put underneath a color, especially a white, like just an especially bright color, it will 100% show through. So you want to make sure that the colors are set up for success here. Because if you rush the white base coat or the yellow base coat, if you rush that brown, it's going to look like you rushed. And then you're going to wonder why it doesn't look good. And then you're going to make fun of me online. Following 3 episodes of the season are October, November, and then December. Okay. And that's going to be end of season 2, because I thought for the longest time we already had the end of season 2. And then we didn't. So they just, I guess in the middle of a season, you can just take a year-long break. Year-long break, and it's still the same season. I don't know. I don't work in Hollywood. I don't know how that works.
Well, she doesn't either.
I think Lindsay does.
Okay, so I need to start my yellow. And last time you said I went too bright too fast. So what do you think I should do?
So when you're doing a yellow, I'll pull that forward. So when you're painting a yellow, you want to start with that good brown. So her visor is also going to be yellow. So it's going to be similar principle here. She started going to this ice yellow, which is a very, very unsaturated, is what we say in the biz, which means there's a lot of white in it. You don't want to start with white, remember, because you can always go up in color until you get to white, because there's nothing brighter than a white. So you want to use this as the end goal, and then maybe use a straight pure white after that. What I would use is the yellow that I gave you earlier. No, I didn't. So there's this color called Phalanx Yellow. So Phalanx Yellow is really, really good because it's more of a yellowy color. You can kind of barely see this. This makes for great streaming, by the way. We're doing these colors that are so hard to see because they're all so bright. But as you can see from that Phalanx Yellow, there's more of a yellow to it. This is so much more lighter. So you want to start with this one first. And you might even want to mix it in with a little bit of the brown previous, and it should help you get more out of that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Alright, so we're still letting that white dry. So we're going to do a little bit of what they call speed metal, which is an even brighter silver color. So when you compare that to that yellow there, it should be a lot brighter if you can get it out of the bottle. And I should have used needles somewhere.
Use needles.
Used airbrush needles. Great way to unclog paint. So as you can see there, this silver, much more white than the trash. So when you are highlighting, like I said, you're always going up to white essentially. A white or a yellow based on what your light source is. So again, just look at it and then just start highlighting where you think the light is going to hit it. I think the little thing on top of his head is also silver. It is blue. Hey, look at that. Good job, Lindsay. Did you Did you finish that army? Like, cause that was Taylor's army, or not Taylor. I'm sorry, Tim's army, right? Cause he keeps bragging about how he primed a single Tyranid or something, and how he sort of painted like a term of gone, I think.
I have heard him with this brag. It's the first army you ever painted. Wow. I don't know that I've finished an army unless we're counting that cyberpunk thing I did last week on vacation.
Yeah, 100% that counts.
But it's not like I finished Tyranids.
Yeah, yeah. That's that's what you do when you play a video game on hard mode. Is painting a Tyranid army.
Yeah.
Actually, I would honestly, I mean, Lindsay, you'd probably be more of an expert. I've never actually painted a Tyranid, but painting Tyranids, well, a single Tyranid doesn't really seem all that difficult. But it's when you paint 6 billion of them is where you start to get the difficulty. It's like an endurance check. B colors, but Tim did. Oh, Tim did a couple. That's good.
Aww.
Good for him.
That's how you raise them right, Lindsay.
There you go. What were you painting Tyranids for? Like, did you have a planned 40K thing going on? Or were you doing it just more for fun? Because I know you actually paint more for fun than anything. Also, if the music is too loud, just give me a heads up, guys. I can turn it down. Yeah, the little ones, I can imagine, yeah. I've heard the best way to do it is to actually just base coat and then just wash them and then maybe do a dry brush. Yeah, yeah, before the network. That was a long time ago. So you were playing 40K with Tim? Or was it like something that was going on at Dragon?
So I'm trying to do the Dr. D inward outward technique. So I'm painting this visor first so I can cover it with my metallics after I mess it all up.
So the tried and true Dr. D method of whenever you paint the model, go with the way they're dressed. So first you put on your skin, and then you put on all the stuff that's closest to the body. So in this case, it'd be skin, undershirt, shirt, jacket, pants, or whatever. It's a good way to make it so that it's easier to not have spillage on other stuff. Partial Adeptus Mechanicus army. Adeptus Mechanicus models are actually super sweet. They're actually really, really cool. Shut up, Bubby.
Bubby doesn't agree.
Okay, so after painting some of that silver, as you can see, we're starting to get a bit of a gradient here. So like that's what the back looks like. That's the dark silver. And then we got the bright stuff going on here. Wait a minute. There we go. I figured it out. I was like, I had this the right direction. I know I did. There we go. Fixed. Okay, so as you can see, there's definitely some silver, like more silver here than there is there. Like even with this camera, you can definitely see that. So now what I'm going to do is just deepen it up a little bit. I am going to use a dark blue because it's supposed to be relatively shiny. I guess I'll use a bit of a dark Prussian blue. This is a pretty great color. I use this for a lot of different things. So it's just a little dot. We're not going to need a lot here. So this is going to be very watered down. This is what you would call like a glaze. Um,
And how do you do that? How do you differentiate that from a wash?
all right, so a glaze and a wash have a lot of like similar properties that I think really confound some people. I think glazing, if you want to become a better painter, you got to learn how to glaze. You got to get rid of, you can't do washes. So the difference between it is literally this. I just watered that down. This is going to be thicker than a wash because it's not literally just water. So what you do is you load the brush up with it. So now there is that stuff in the brush. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe off most of it on like this piece of paper so that I know that the paint is in there, but I know that there's no excess moisture, which is going to make it want to wash into places I don't want it to. So then I'm going to go to the dark places, and I'm just going to like kind of tint.
So you wiped it on your construction paper.
Yeah, you can put it on your, you can do it on anything. You can do it on your finger. A towel might be a little too much. A towel might like literally absorb all of the moisture.
I used to keep a washcloth when I painted, and I think that really messed up my brushes a lot.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of using towels. And because this is a metal, I recommend that you go pretty much like right to the point of transition between the bright and the less bright, especially with this blue, because what this is going to do is it's really going to make it look a lot more reflective. And then if you feel like it's getting too watery or not watery enough, add or remove as needed. And at this point, you don't need to think about it too hard. Just put it in there where you think it belongs. And you're going to be trying to go in the opposite direction of your light source because this is quote-unquote the darker spaces of the model. My whole goal here is to make the transitions look less rough. You do not want a hard edge on the color transitions. How many models have I painted for Tim? As far as I'm aware, none. I have offered, and he's told me no. I have definitely painted a lot of models for Jesse, but I have not actually painted anything for Tim.
What do you think Tim tells you no? Do you think he doesn't like your painting?
I believe Tim doesn't want me to paint it because I think most of the stuff I've offered he's usually already got. And he knows if he loses me, he loses the network.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is it.
Here's the real T.
Star show.
The real T of the network. All right, so how many models have you? Oh, sorry. He wasn't talking to me. He was talking to Lindsay.
Oh, that makes way more
Yeah,
sense.
that makes way more sense. Sorry, I thought Lindsay had asked me. I saw her name up there and it just clicked in my brain. Okay, so I've added the blue. Now again, kind of hard to tell, but that's the bright spots, and then we start going into the back part, and you start to notice it gets this like kind of blue tinge to it. Now, if you're really into this idea, you can put some of that blue on top of the bright spots, and it'll give it a little bit of that blue tinge. But if you put too much on there, you're going to start losing contrast, which I like the idea of making it a little blue just because it is R2-D2. And you have to remember that when we start painting the blue paneling, everything around it's going to start kind of getting a little bit of a blue tinge to it anyway, so it's not like end of the world. And again, you can always come in here and clean up whatever you want. So if you feel like something needs like a little bit more of a highlight because like the definition's not enough, you can always go back in there with a little bit of that silver and just kind of give it a little freshen up. And we're doing the same thing for bar 2, coming in here and just giving it a little spritz, little little spritz of that blue. Are you going to ACO, Tisdale? I will not be there, before anybody asks. But I know Tim was saying that you want to go to ACO when I'm not working.
No, but I'm